There we go. We are live.
We got thrown a little bit then, didn't we?
Yeah, there was an unexpected pop-up and we panicked.
How is everyone? I hope you've all had a great weekend, as always. It's been a bit quieter this one than some of the others, but there has been some action going on. Ireland's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
Was that yesterday?
Yeah, that was yesterday. Yeah, that was won by Sean Gillen for the second year
in a row, and he's qualified for Britain's.
Yeah, and interestingly, for the second year in a row, they tied for first place on points, and it went on the last event rule. But he tied with Rory O'Hagan.
Yes,
I nearly forgot.
Matt McKeegan was third, I believe.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, 2 under 105 athletes. So good showing. No par.
No par. And I just saw here Mary saying, "What's happened to par? Does he not do strongman anymore?"
We don't actually know, do we? We'll have to ask him.
We'll have to ask him when we see him.
Yeah.
He's training still, I believe.
Yeah, I see training videos all the time.
So.
Yeah, 250 kilo one-handed deadlift the other day.
Yes, yeah, very impressive.
Yeah, but no, we will try and find out. Today was also Portugal's Strongest Man final. A 95 kilo athlete won the whole thing.
Fantastic.
Wow. Oh, Jose Gregorio? Yeah, sounds about right, doesn't it?
Sounds good.
Well done, Jose. There you go. To think this time last week we were in Vegas.
I know, it's a lot colder back here.
It's miserable. Like, I hate autumn. It's just leading into the depressing spiral of winter. I know loads of people like it.
A lot of people do. We like the warmer weather, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
I like the cold weather when it's snowy and frosty.
When it's nice,
just when it's wet and miserable.
Grey. Very grey.
Anyway, let's try and bring some sunshine to the world.
Oh, lovely, no. Good morning, Auntie Liz and Uncle Loz. Greetings from Egypt. This guy who likes to use my picture and my name. Cousin Fred, but thank you. Thank you, Fred, for gifting memberships. Fred was at the Giants Live last weekend in Vegas.
Hope you had a good time there, Fred.
Fred gets spotted now and asked for pictures.
Fred is, big deal in the strongman world. It's like the book is Where's Wally in the UK, Where's Waldo in America.
Yeah.
It's Where's Fred?
Where's Fred?
Strongman comp.
He's usually somewhere.
Yes.
What's this from Daniel? Mitch is live this week, calling out Thor for a non super chat comment, and then thanking Thor for being a fan. Had me in stitches. Oh, did you watch Thor?
I haven't
his
seen
live. No, he called out Thor for not super chatting. That's how I'm reading it. I don't know about you. I might be spreading rumors again.
We haven't seen it, so yeah, but glad you're entertained.
It's been a busy week. Monica's in the house. Monica and Magnus are very busy organising the Magnus for Magnuson Classic.
That's coming around fast.
Next week is the last qualifier for it. So it's the Arnold Europe, and the winner of that gets the last qualifying
They've done
spot.
a great job kind of giving new athletes an opportunity or a route for people to qualify.
Yeah.
Magnus was down in New Zealand.
He was,
New Zealand Strongest Man.
How nice for him.
It's a long trip because then he was in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously... there's a little voice there. He's done qualifiers in Canada. This is obviously a qualifier as well. So great to see routes for new athletes to get a chance to compete at the Magnus for Magnuson Classic. Is this little lady okay?
She's fine. She couldn't open a door.
Oh, bless her.
She needed a strong
She's had a busy day today, hasn't she?
She has. 2 birthday parties. I've been all over the damn place. Are you okay being in charge of comments?
Probably not. Yeah, what's Fred saying here? Thor comes back with full pressing power, and Mitch might as well retire. That's a bit harsh. a little bit harsh.
Calm down,
Shall we tell everyone else to retire as well? Fred, it's not even an American he's talking about. Come on, Fred.
No, yeah, come on, Fred. Be nice.
I get it when he's kind of bigging up the Americans. But no, it would be great to see Thor back at full strength. I hope he does, because Thor against Mitch, both in top shape, is going to be a fun battle to watch.
Yeah. Fred gifted another 5 memberships to make up for his comments.
And a super chat as well.
Oh, all right, we'll read that. There we go. Thank you so much, Fred. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Hope all is well. Didn't make the chat last week due to just making it home about then. Great comp. We're glad to hear you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a good comp. We're glad you had fun there.
A couple of hiccups on the night, wasn't there, with sound at the beginning and stuff like that. Not their usual smooth, plain sailing.
Just working with different people, I guess, and things will, as we've seen in the UK shows, just improve.
It will get better, yeah, definitely. Lots of people greeting each other.
It's a nice
Evening
community
strong
in here.
hands. It is. We have the nicest community, I'm sure. But then I can't find a comment for us.
Anyone going to Royal Albert Hall next July?
For the Strongman Classic, I'm wondering whether to upgrade my 5th row seat for a gold VIP ticket. There are only 5 left.
We'll be going.
Ooh. Yes, we will be going. A 5th row seat from the base will be an excellent view. It will be a really, really good view. So I would only do it if doing like the meet and greets appeals to you. But in terms of a view, 5 rows back, that would be nice, won't it?
Yeah,
At the Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah,
Nothing's going to be in your way there.
Royal Albert Hall, every seat is fairly close. It's a smaller venue, actually. It's one of the smallest venues that they compete in. It's just an iconic venue.
Yeah.
So you are kind of on top of the action at the Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah, it's really nice.
This could be an interesting live because the dog is awake and
very awake.
moving.
I didn't have time to walk her. I had to shower. I had to prioritize. The sheep has had 2 walks. I would like to point out. But I don't have time to tire her out before the live.
Good morning from Oz.
Should we answer this? Because we were talking about this privately amongst ourselves, weren't we? Evening, Loz and Liz. Hope this isn't seen as disrespectful, but do you think Tom would benefit from a new coach? And I said to you, do you think he actually needs a new coach?
I don't think Tom needs a coach, if I'm honest. What I mean by that, I think Tom just needs confidence. He needs sometimes maybe some advice from experienced people. But I think when you look at what him and his coach have achieved together, they've achieved 3 World's Strongest Man titles. So clearly they know how to peak and be in great shape. I think Tom's biggest issue is just the autism is a factor. And I think Tom needs to structure his year out as a whole year. So he plans it out, sits down at the kind of beginning of the year with whoever's coaching him and makes a kind of definitive plan of where I want to be focused on. And I think for Tom, it's going to be something like Arnold's Worlds, short,
strongest man on earth,
Rogue.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to, like from talking to him, he doesn't want to be too active. And I think if he's got in his head that he doesn't want to be too active, then he shouldn't be too active. He needs to be very, very, Tom's never going to be turned down from a competition. He's a 3-time world's strongest man and current world's strongest man. He's an incredible athlete, but you can see, particularly watching his latest video, there's a confidence issue there at the moment. I mean, he's kind of talking about he doesn't have a good deadlift. He pulled 400 for 5 reps at the start of this year. 400 kilos for 5 reps. He's a phenomenal deadlifter. But when that confidence takes a knock, it seems to knock him for a while. And I think right now he just needs to strip back, get himself back into some good solid training, focus on the basics. So things like raw deadlifting, raw squatting, that should be done as a given for I believe it should be done as some form of raw squat and deadlift should be in your training for the most part of the season. And things like that will start to pick up. You don't need to teach Tom how to load Atlas stones or how to do a lot of the events. He's an amazing strongman with superiorly, just the gifted physique that he has to do this.
Genetics.
He's a genetic freak. He just needs that confidence and maybe sometimes reassurance. That can be a big thing for someone like Tom. But I've said this before, whether it's Tom, whether it's Thor, whether it's Mitch Hooper, you don't they make you look better than you are as a coach. I take more pride in someone like Jack, who I've coached from the age of 15, who is now starting to break through to the top level, than I can for someone like Mitch, because Mitch is incredible. Yes, I've helped in certain ways, probably more so than anything. It's been my experience of competing in all these different competitions, and personality wise, we work well together.
Yeah.
Even now with Mitch, I'm sort of trying to remind him that he's human and needs to back off a little bit because we've still got 2 more competitions to do. And the logical side of him agrees with that. But then there's the competitive side that just wants to constantly push. But sometimes as a coach, you've got to say, look, you need to back off a little bit. And I have no problem telling Mitch that when I think he needs it. But Tom and Dan have done amazing things, 3-time world's strongest man. You can't ignore that. And I think it's very
Dan's been
easy.
his coach that whole time.
Yeah, and I think it's very easy when a result goes badly for people to blame something.
Yeah, and Tom really is a unique athlete and a unique person. And what we see work for other people isn't necessarily going to work the same way for him. Malcolm calling me out. You're not in an actual cold country. I don't want to hear it. Do you
It's
know
not so much
what,
the
though, Malcolm?
cold.
It's the dampness. We can cope with cold.
I
'cause
actually
you can
like the
dress for
cold when it's frosty or crisp or snowing.
Snow, yes.
It's actually nice.
Here, it's so wet and grey and miserable and dark and gloomy. How many more adjectives do I need? It's just, it just sucks.
I think the UK is like a beautiful place on a nice day.
Yeah, on a sunny day,
countryside,
it's amazing.
It's such a nice place to be, but yeah, the winter's just grey for most of it.
It is. Where is she? Monica, thanks for the shout out for the Magnus Vert. Well, we're very excited this year, more than normal, because we're coming and I will be happy in Iceland, all cold and cozy.
If it's snowing, not if it's just wet and damp.
Oh God, it won't be, will it? Monica, say it isn't so. No, I'm only going for the snow. How sad that would be.
Hello from Texas. We're not going to Texas this year.
XXX. You love Texas, don't you? Loz wants to live in Texas in a big house with no neighbors.
With a big car.
And a big barbecue.
And just do strongman.
And he just wants to be like an obnoxious American. Not that Americans are
not obnoxious.
He wants to be obnoxious.
I just want to have a nice... I just want to go to the gym.
Would you have a gun?
Yeah, why not? You have a right to defend your family and your
if everyone else has one, I want one.
It's like a deadlift suit. If everyone else is using one, I want one. If you make everyone get rid of them, then fair.
Liz, thanks for coming out of your hiding place to say hello in Vegas. I was genuinely hiding behind the curtain at one point.
You were, weren't you?
My social battery is smaller than yours. And yeah, I think I'd gone, I don't know, off for something and just never came back. Whoops. But I do, I like meeting people, but
do you feel awkward?
Yeah, I do, because I'm not an athlete. I've not done anything.
You are an athlete
actually. There was this one time.
This one time you deadlifted 120 kilos.
I don't think anyone
really
bad. Sandbag was lovely though.
Very good.
Very nice sandbag. There we go. Who's the world's strongest left-handed strongman? Isn't Mitch also left-handed? And Tom? I'm sure. Do you know what?
Do you know what they might be?
I think they are.
You might be right.
I'm certain.
I think all three of them are left-handed.
Yeah.
Which
Someone
is weird,
correct me if I'm wrong. There seems to be something about that.
That's odd.
Yeah, it is.
I hadn't thought of that, but I think you are right. So maybe the three strongest men in the world right now are left-handed.
Does Royal Albert Hall have accessible seating? That's a good question that I don't know. I don't have the answer.
I wouldn't like to give the answer without knowing for sure.
No.
Best thing to do is contact the Royal Albert Hall directly.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Their website. Check on the website. I'm sure there's an email or a number that you can ring.
Has there been anything about Arnold UK next year? Do you know what? From things that I've heard, and I can't remember where I heard them, it seems like it's happening again next year.
I've heard rumours of things, but nothing definitive.
No, not seen any official posts or dates or anything like that.
Just little rumours, and let's keep our fingers crossed that it does.
It would be really nice. I always go to Royal Albert Hall and have gone for gold VIP as a special treat. It is a treat. The whole place is a treat.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed Vegas. It's a crazy place, but lots of fun. Mitch was the big surprise lifting 505 off the ground, says Melly.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Surprised us too.
It surprised you more than me, I think. I didn't think he'd pull 505, but I know where he's strong. I thought he'd pull 470. I said there's a good chance he could pull 470 before. But Mitch still needs to get the lockout stronger to pull 505. He's got tremendous leg power, very, very strong off the floor. But if you compare the 470 pulls, Rauno's 470 was better than anyone else's.
Yeah. Matty, thank you for the members' comment. Hope Tom sees the advice you gave him in the last video.
Thank you. I genuinely, I really like Tom.
We love Tom and Sinead.
Even though he's a big rival to some of my athletes, that doesn't matter. I want to see people doing well, and he's a good guy and extremely talented. So he always is in good shape for Worlds. I'd like to see him in good shape for some of the other comps, and I do feel just planning out that year and him being like, okay, I'm not going to do any Giants lives if that's the case. He's got to do what's right for him.
Yeah.
I think whatever he does,
to be selfish and just do what's going to work well for him.
I think as long as he plans it out, I think Tom works well with a plan.
Yes, he does.
And knowing, right, this is what I'm going to do for this. And I think he'll be so much better.
And if you know Tom personally, you can see the difference in him straight away when he's feeling good about something and when he's not. He's a totally, Okay. Barbells and battlefields. Thank you for the super chat. Your take on Mitch saying the best recovery is a simple walk. Is Mitch just a superhuman who doesn't understand regular people's need for extensive recovery, or are the rest of us overthinking physio?
I think a lot of people overthink things. Genuinely, I think, movement is key. So a walk is great. It's what people have done throughout time. And I'm not dismissing physio and all the other kind of treatments that are out there, but I think sometimes we can overthink that they're kind of doing more than they actually are. Like a lot of I think you're better off going to see a physio than you are just doing lots of self-massage with a massage gun. I think if you don't really know what you're doing, there's more chance of doing harm than good sometimes. I see people spending hours and hours and hours kind of foam rolling and using guns on them and, battering the hell out of their body and causing more harm than good. Just making sure that your body is moving well, making sure it's getting blood around the body, making sure your sleep is really good, your food and nutrition is good, and your hydration is good, and moving. They're your main components to recovery. Yes, there's other factors. Like personally, I like chiropractic treatment. Mitch doesn't like chiropractic treatment, doesn't believe in it in the slightest. I, just from personal experience, find it's beneficial for me as an athlete, and I think it's worth trying if you've never tried it. But even if it's a placebo and it makes you think it's...
I've had some lovely neck cracks from Rico personally. It's so nice.
I've had training sessions where I haven't been able to lift very well at all, had a chiropractic adjustment, and then my next session's been great. But there's no science to say that it's great, but there's experience as an athlete to try it and say it's great. Same with like ice baths. I don't really believe in ice baths, but Luke Stockman loves them. And if he believes that they're helping him, then great. But the simple things that, you can't deny in terms of recovery are movement, hydration, nutrition, and sleep. They're your main go-tos for recovery. We're all the same. You might need more or less than other people. Some people can get on fine with 5 hours sleep. Some people might need 8 hours sleep. Some people are going to need 6,000 calories. Some people only need 3,000 calories. So the amount can vary, but just doing the basics well can go a long, long way. And one of my clients earlier, I've got him doing a bit of a weird workout right now where he has to squat and deadlift back to back. So he'll do a set of squats into a set of deadlifts,
like
into a set of squats.
Set.
Not a superset, but like alternating between the two. And he was saying, it's not super heavy. Yeah, he's probably saying that as well. He's like, oh, it's going to be a pain taking my shoes off and stuff like that. I was like, don't overthink it. Yeah. Just use the same shoes. Because we're going sub-maximal in terms of the weight that he's using. So your body should be able to adapt, and you've got to stop like making yourself so narrow-minded that you can only do things if you have all the perfect environment. Because in strongman, how many times do you get the perfect environment?
Very rare.
You've been to World's Strongest Man with me and seen the conditions you have to compete in, and other competitions where
in the rain,
the surface that you're competing in can vary. I've done squats in a car park on a slant. I've done loading on sand. I've done deadlifts on soggy grass where you're kind of sinking into the ground. If you cannot adapt as a strongman, you're going to struggle. If you need everything to be perfect all the time, it's not the sport for you.
Dalton pointing out that Tom said he's not good at deadlift for max.
Yeah, but 400 kilos is massive, and to say he's not good for max is rubbish as well. He's lifted some big weights. He's getting into his own head that he's not good at a max.
400 for 5 should translate into a much bigger PB, like £1,000.
I think so.
I think so too.
And I guarantee with some good structure and training, he would pull £1,000. Yeah, he is more than strong enough, but he's convincing himself that he's not, and that's where he needs to change things right now. Whereas you get like Mitch is the other way around. Mitch is convinced he's got 505, where right now he hasn't. Yeah, but that's not to say he won't. I believe with a year we can get into pull. He probably believes he can pull it in 6 weeks. That's Mitch. He give him 20% chance and he'll take it. Yeah. Whereas I think Tom needs 80% chance to believe he can do it.
Who's tall Paul Hutchins? There's that knuckles up future champ and the deadlift queen, Mrs. Liz.
Thank you very much.
Piss-taking. Where are we? Andrew with the members comment, who will win the women's rogue?
That's a hard question.
Yeah.
Very, very hard question. The women's side of the sport right now is so competitive.
Mm-hmm. There's a different woman winning every single competition. So we had Lucy win the UK's Arnold's, Angelica America's, Rebecca won Worlds before that.
Yeah.
If everyone comes in shape, it will be a complete bloodbath. Like we've seen, because there was quite a few women's competitions in, quick succession.
Mm-hmm.
We saw quite a few injuries, unfortunately. But if they're all in shape, who knows? I mean, looking at the events, I think it suits maybe your taller athletes like Lucy and Rebecca. Things like power stairs, fingers, I think might benefit them. But who knows? I wouldn't like to say.
Yeah, I mean, it could be all over the place. You've got deadlift for max in there. You've got the overhead medley. Consistency is going to be important. And I could see a different winner of every event in that competition.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't like to. That's a lineup I wouldn't want to put money on.
No, God, no. No, I'd lose everything. We're not good at gambling, are we? We did try.
We put $50 in, and we were like happy to lose it, I think.
Yeah, I was happy for it to be over. Took bloody ages. I kept winning, but not
much.
Enough.
We put $50 into a machine. I think we went up to 75 at one point.
Dizzy heights, yeah.
And then you got a bit cocky and put some more money on.
I started making my bets bigger to make it go quicker. Oh dear. One of the things I liked best about The Strongest Man on Earth was the level of refereeing, albeit sometimes over the top. The difference with recent Giants Live shows is noticeable. Why can't Giants Live and others have better reffing? Harsh criticism there from Malcolm.
Do you know one thing with refereeing that I'd like to see? Like, honestly, I'd like to see rules be the same across the board. I think one of the problems, and I've said this many times, is every comp has different rules, which makes it very complicated for us as fans, even as experts. Like I'm commentating, and sometimes you're confused by what's happening because rules have been changed last minute, or certain competitions have special rules for them. Yeah. I just think we need some consistency across the board. There's certain events that need to be stricter. There's some events. Even like a lot of people giving Terry crap for the refereeing that he did at Rogue, but I thought, at the Strongest Man on Earth, but I thought he was really good. The problem arises when you've got two referees.
Yeah, they're not the same person, are they? So they're not going to call it exactly the same.
A lot of people were complaining, Terry doesn't like Thor, which is absolute rubbish. Terry was exactly the same for every single athlete. The problem was the referee on the other side may have been a bit softer. So that is always a factor. But refereeing is always a discussion that we have.
Do you think if there was like a rule book like you've always wanted and the rules were always the same for each competition, like for that type of event, do you think like the referees getting used to that standard would mean we'd see a lot more consistency going forward because they know everyone knows what to expect?
I think if everyone knows what they need to lift to, then you train to that standard as well. Whereas, you watch some people's lifts in the gym, even like something as simple as someone squatting in the gym, but they're squatting high, but they'll say like, I'll make depth in comp. Like, you probably won't if you're kind of constantly missing depth in the gym. If you're a log, you're not kind of getting the head through and locking out fully. There's a chance you start creating habits that you want to get out of. So if there's like a definitive rule that people train to, then the standard would be better anyway.
We also shouldn't forget that the organizers will often tell the referees how to referee something, like Brian did at The Strongest Man on Earth. Like
absolutely.
And that's going to be different every time.
I mean, I've seen really good refereeing at comps, and I've seen really bad refereeing at comps, and at all comps. Yeah. Let's be honest, the squats at the Strongest Man on Earth were high.
Yeah.
But if that's the standard that they set in the first place, then that's the standard. Whereas the deadlift stand was so strict, it was almost over the top.
Yeah.
So there's like
just want to
same comp. One event is super strict, one event was soft.
Yeah.
So you can't just say it's this promoter or another promoter. We see it across the board. It's it just all needs a bit of improving, I think. And if World's Strongest Man is kind of the top level comp,
they need to
kind of needs
to and trickle down. You know whose competition squats were not high?
Yours.
Yeah. Right, Monica, make sure you bundle up nicely.
We will.
We will.
Last time we went somewhere really cold, you were drinking. to keep warm.
I had to. It was the only option. It was one of the sponsors. He was spiking my coffees. I let him. Keep it going. That was in Finland.
Yeah, it was at Lapland, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's why I bought my wife
That
to
was
Florida.
really cold.
No, Florida. What am I saying? Yeah, I'll move here to Tennessee. Lakes, rivers, mountains, and a lot of sun.
Sounds beautiful.
Sounds great. I would live in the South if I lived in America. Like, I don't think I just think that lifestyle would suit me a bit better, you know?
Yeah.
Country living. I would be a bumpkin.
We are country bumpkins.
Yeah,
for
we
sure.
are.
Got told off for calling Trey a country bumpkin once,
I know.
commentating.
Yeah, it's offensive.
Not by Trey. Trey was cool with it.
No, by ESPN.
Yeah.
Monica, are you a relative to Magnus Ver Magnusson? She is his new wife. His bride. That's completely off topic, but does Jerry Pritchett still train? Jerry? Oh, Jerry Pritchett's son still train. Can you see him and Eddie's son competing for worlds? I think he's down to do OSG teams, is he not?
Jerry's son, Bubba Pritchett, is phenomenal. I think he could be a very good athlete one day. The reason being, he genuinely loves it. There's no kind of being pushed by his dad or anything like that. He just loves strongman. He's a lovely kid. I've met him a number of times. Stupidly tall already, like 13. He's taller than me.
That's a fake child, surely. Like, I'm looking up at him.
He's I think he has, as long as he keeps enjoying it, doesn't do anything stupid, I can see him doing very well in the sport. Eddie's son, I'm not so sure of. Like, it's too early to tell. He's still much younger.
Less experience than Bubba.
I don't like seeing some of the lifts he does, if I'm totally honest. I love that he trains with his dad, and if he's enjoying it, that's fantastic. I just think at that age, just focus on a bit more technique and good quality movement patterns. There's so much time to add the weight. But if he's enjoying it and he keeps enjoying it, then, you know, he's got great genetics from his dad. He could be very, very good as well. But Jerry Pritchett's son, for sure, I can see doing very well.
Plus, wee Holly is now coming to Glasgow. It was so bad. They were like, lovely couple. Oh, our daughter Holly, she's 11. She's at home. She's not here. Could you film a video for her? So I'm on the video like, I'm outraged. Your parents have not brought you to Vegas, but I've heard they're going to bring you to Glasgow. And they were like, we think the tickets have sold out. So I really stitched them up. However, Giants Live did add more tickets. So now Holly is going to
we
Glasgow.
look forward to seeing Holly.
We will meet her there. It will be lovely. Where are we? I've been seeing the ladies training pressing with a kettlebell and weights taped to them. Yeah. I saw
one of the events of the Oved medley is a kettlebell.
Yeah, because I saw the name of the event, the last event, is a circus medley, and I saw comments of people assuming that it was a circus dumbbell medley, but this is a completely different.
It's a few different objects.
Yeah, I think 4 or 5 different implements, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's an interesting mix. Rogue sounds like it's going to be great. Mitch was amazing getting the deadlift to the knees. Much love from.
Thank you, Lauren.
Liz, how do you feel about Loz's new tattoo? Why don't you show everybody? Guys, I've waited 7 years for this. 7 years we've been married, and finally, drunk in Vegas, he got it on what's that street called?
Fremont
Street, of all places. He so he walked up to the door and he's like, "Should we go in?" I was like, "You want to get it done here?" But it was a nice tattoo studio, wasn't it? It was clean and nice enough.
Oh, I'm just getting a message from Monica. Come up on my phone. I
on your watch.
Yes, I won't read that right now.
No. Mitch isn't human. He just needs to heat up the wires in his legs by walking. Loz, captains of Crush. Have you ever completed any levels?
I've closed the number 3 regularly. I never closed the number 4. The number 4 is brutal, but yeah, I can close the number 3 pretty consistently.
I was quite upset when I couldn't close the 1.
You were with me when I closed it in Dubai.
Yeah,
you've got it on video of it somewhere.
There's a short.
Might be
on our channel.
Yeah, it might be on the channel.
It is. There's definitely a short. I closed the trainer.
The trainer, you did indeed.
Oh, the one that you give your kids so they stop bothering you.
Yeah.
Matty saying, I actually would bet my house on Mitch pulling over 500 next year as long as he doesn't get injured.
It's a brutal sport, strongman, and you've got to try and avoid injury best you can. But Mitch, once he sets his mind on something, he wants to do it. So
it's hard to doubt him at this point because he's done almost everything, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, was it last year he was saying about getting the axle world record? And I thought, privately, like Mitch is a friend, but I did think that didn't seem too likely. But this year he went and did it. So
I can see him getting it.
I can see him getting it too.
Tom's PR is 948 pounds. He needs to push that up to 1,000 pounds, and I believe he can.
Is it 948 pounds?
I need to work it out. I think he's done 430 kilos, so whatever that is.
I can't do
It's about that.
Okay. Monica's very excited to watch the women at Rogue. Oh, yeah. Did you see this? Summer Johnson hit a 304 kilo deadlift as an under 82 kilo. I think that was this weekend.
Yeah.
She's only the second strong woman to go over 300 in competition, I think.
Wow. That's huge.
She's under 82. She's an absolute beast.
She's a beast. Yes.
We were at Clash on the Coast when she won that year.
Yeah.
She is insane. I would not want to compete against that woman. Do you follow and report on the Olympia? Do you know, this year is going to be, the strongman element anyway, it's going to be so much easier because America's Strongest Man, run by Strongman Corp, which is now owned by Lynn and James, and Lynn Morehouse is Mr. Official Strongman Games. So it's all going to be streamed on Official Strongman, isn't it?
Yeah. Not the bodybuilding side of things, though, but we will report on the America's Strongest Man that's happening there.
Never bodybuilding. Is this James Wall arm wrestler, James Wall? Good evening, guys. Hope you're both well. Hello, James. James is our new friend. Good to spend some time with him
over in the States a few weeks ago.
Yes. That feels like forever ago,
doesn't it? It does, doesn't it? It wasn't that long ago, but it feels ages ago. Hope you're training hard, buddy.
Who's stronger between Kilishkovsky, Derek Poundstone, and Lallis? They're about the best modern athletes never to win World's Strongest Man.
That's a tough one to answer. All great strongmen.
I'd say Kilishkovsky was the best out of those. As a strongman, the best strongman, won the most events. Maybe won the most competitions.
He has won the most events, but Lallis won the Arnolds. Derek Poundstone's probably one of the best never to win.
He won Fortissimus, Derek Poundstone.
Yeah, twice.
They've got bigger titles than him.
He won the Arnolds as well.
Yeah.
So I think Kilishkovsky is one of the best never to sort of win those major titles.
Yet.
The
eternal optimist. Yet.
I think they're all, I can't pick, it's like picking your favorite child.
Yeah.
They're all three of them are unbelievable.
Favorite child. Come on, little Derek. He's older than us. Oh. Why do they wear deadlift suits? Why don't they just have the belt and straps? Seems counterintuitive for the sport.
I agree with you. I think we should get rid of the suits in strongman. However,
people want
to see the biggest lifts, so they allow them. But I'm a fan of getting rid of them.
Yes.
And that's why Trey's lift was so impressive.
Yes. The Texas boys, I believe that's
hey
Austin
guys.
Andrade and Nick Gardione. Austin, that 470.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was
impressive.
So close.
Main thing was he was okay. I was getting worried that
it was scary.
It's one of the reasons I hate figure of 8 straps.
Yeah,
because you cannot let go of the bar.
Yeah, I was with his wife Maisie, and I was like, he's fine. Look, he's okay. He's talking. He's awake. Yeah. But I didn't know that. It is scary watching things like that.
Cripple strength. Thank you for the super chat. Would Giants Live ever have an adaptive show? Maybe in the future. I believe OSG are looking into potentially doing adaptive strongman.
That would be the first natural step.
Magnus is really the main guy for the adaptive side of the sport, and it's awesome to watch. Like, I've been involved in the disabled side of strongman for a number of years now. I'm very lucky that I get to coach 3 incredible adaptive athletes, and they always blow my mind with what they can kind of do. It's just really awesome to see.
You coach Dave, and he's the world's strongest seated man. Yeah. I couldn't think of his title. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yes, the
sitting bull.
I coach a few. They're all really impressive to watch.
Cybernetic strength as well. People talking about the squat problem. Who will win Mr. Olympia? No idea. Do not follow it. Do you follow bodybuilding at all?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I have to. I train with Rich and Josh.
Oh, that's true.
I think Haddy will win.
You think who?
Haddy Chupan.
Oh, Haddy.
He won. He won 2 years ago.
Okay.
And he's looking good.
Hip flipping Mama. Kelly's in the house. Always nice to see you, Kelly. Cousin Fred with another super chat. Thank you, Fred. Liz, did you see my text? A place to go for Princess Alexa's birthday. I did not, Fred, because I have a new number. So you will have to find another way to send it to me. Instagram would be the best place. There you go. I had an incident with an old phone and had to get everything new. I think I could have transferred my number, but I was like, oh. Can Eddie Hall win 2025 Mr. Olympia?
No.
Is that a serious question?
No, he can't.
Eddie definitely doesn't want to do the thing. Eddie's going to be arm wrestling
Eddie
this
against
year.
Brian Shaw.
Now that's going to be interesting.
It's not. Brian's going to kill him.
Yeah,
no offense to Eddie.
But
Brian's going to kill him.
I have some concerns, if I'm honest, because Brian is going to be much better than Eddie technically. Eddie is not going to give up because he's stubborn and a very competitive man. But does Brian know enough to keep Eddie safe? Could it be Snap City?
I think Brian's words were, Eddie's going to be the sacrilegious lamb.
Oh my God.
I think it'll be fun. Sacrificial. Yeah. I've been trying to get a match against Brian.
Yeah.
But this makes more sense. Obviously, Eddie has a huge following. They're going to sell a lot of pay-per-views for it. And to be quite honest, I think it's a fairly easy win for Brian. And obviously, Brian wants to become as good as he can in the arm wrestling world. He takes it very seriously. Eddie doesn't take arm wrestling as seriously. And I think if it was fighting, completely different. Eddie wouldn't be okay with losing that. But I think with arm wrestling, Eddie can take it. He's not going to get upset about a loss to Brian in terms of arm wrestling. They're probably both going to have a good payday out of it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's good opportunity in terms of social media for both of them. So it's the perfect opposition in terms of level and reach that you can get.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not going to bring as many eyes to the sport as Eddie will. So it totally makes sense.
Where are we? Michael with a comment there. I think Tom should do Brits as well as the Big Four.
Look, we can all say what we think he should do. What he should do is what he's happy doing. Like, I'd love to see him at Brits. I'd love to see him at Europe's, to be quite honest, as well. Maybe some other shows, but that's irrelevant. What we think, he has to do what he's happy with. And if he only wants to do 2 shows, then only do 2 shows. If he wants to do 5 shows, do 5 shows. He needs to be okay with it so that in his head he can plan out everything pre-season and have a structured plan that he focuses on. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to see him at Brits for sure.
Home Gym Physique saying that they were planning to go to the Rogue Invitational in Aberdeen, but the prices are extremely costly. Is that normal to attend an event like that? No way am I paying those prices. Shame. There should be some much cheaper options, like the suites and some of the boxes and VIP stuff is extremely expensive. There should be some much more affordable day tickets, though. Loz is going to have a look and see what. Yeah, don't look at that.
Jesus.
That's not normal. Not for strongman, that's not normal. I don't know about CrossFit. Maybe people do pay stuff like that for CrossFit.
So there's £180
for reserved seats for 3 days of competition. So £60 a day.
Yeah, like the first thing that came up was a suite, which was over £3,000.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh.
Yeah. So you're looking at £60 a day, but obviously you're obligated for all 3 days. I mean, you don't have to go, but you have to pay. But that's not abnormal.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at how much one-day shows are, I don't think 180 for 3 days is too bad in comparison to, like, the Shaw Classic was a lot more than that.
Yeah, much more. And the Arnold's, once you paid for entry into the expo and for your ticket, that's expensive as well. So yeah.
Do you know what? Like, the sad thing is just everything is expensive right now.
It really is.
I went and did like a top-up shop today, like 80 quid. This wasn't like the weekly shop. It was just a few extra bits that we needed.
I know.
I was like, what?
Yeah, it's like $100, $110 just for a couple of bags, isn't it? Shocking.
Jesus.
Tim Wesner, thank you for the super chat. Dropping in from work real quick to say hi. Hope you two and everyone else are well.
Thank you, buddy. I hope you're doing well. He's training hard now. He's got a comp coming up.
Nice.
Training's been going well. Thank you, buddy.
Listening to you guys in the shower.
Oh, very nice.
Doing me.
Yeah, someone said it's cheaper than Oasis. It's a lot cheaper than Oasis.
Oh, that was ridiculous, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Derek won the Arnolds twice, Lallis once. Oh, yeah, that's a good point, actually. Derek did win it twice.
I think Derek, probably in terms of what he's won, is the best strongman never to win worlds.
Oh, you're probably right. I answered with my heart, not my head.
That's because you love Mateusz.
Yeah, purely platonically. We should have our Mateusz t-shirts coming soon.
I'm looking forward to
How nice
those.
will that be? These stone.
Is he going to get an Auntie Liz t-shirt?
Oh, I should. Shouldn't I? I don't know that he'll wear it.
No.
But I'm going to give it to him anyway, whether he likes it or not. He's very polite, so he might.
He'll probably have a picture in it and then never wear it again.
In it. Yeah.
Use it as a duster.
Yeah. How do you feel about Andrea's chance for a podium at Rogue?
Andrea is starting to look pretty good. She's coming down to train on Monday
Tomorrow.
Tuesday. Yeah,
Yeah.
tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to. I haven't had a chance to actually train with her in person for a while. So this is going to be good.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, there's
I
good
like
events for
Andrea's
her,
work.
and there's a couple of weaker events for her as well.
Do you know what though? Andrea is one of the most consistent in terms of her deadlift and overhead strength. Like most of them are good at one or the other. Like Inez is much better overhead than she is at deadlift. Lucy deadlift over overhead, but Andrea is a really nice balance of the two. So if she doesn't mess up, she has a very good chance of podium.
Andrea, in terms of static strength, is just a beast. So
She's a
it's just
beast.
making sure she's prepping as well as possible on the events. But look, all the women have to be super hungry for this. This is the biggest opportunity they've ever had. I think as it stands, first prize for the women is $115,000. That's never even been close to that kind of money in the women's side of the sport. So they should all be taking it super seriously. And Andrea in shape is a beast.
This is an interesting question. How much do the open weight women weigh? If we talk about the men's weight, but I have no idea how heavy the women are. For example, how old is Rebecca Roberts? Rebecca Roberts is, I think, about 28.
Is she as young as that?
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Their weights vary. I think, we've got a few around the 82, 85 kilo mark.
Not many of like the open weight women competing at things
like Sam and Mel are both around the 82 kilo mark. They both compete at under 82s.
They do.
I'm saying ranging the weights. So let me go from the lightest. And, as heavy as we've seen, as heavy as 160 kilos, I'd probably say. I think around 100 is probably more.
I think between 100 and 120 is probably an average for an open weight woman.
Do you reckon?
I think so.
There's lots that are sort of around the 100 kilo mark, I think.
It's hard to tell. Some people are denser than others as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean that with love. Yeah. Some people are just very solidly built. Klitschkowski not having a major title is utterly insane. I clicked on the wrong one.
Yes, I agree.
Turtle Hubby, thank you for the super chat. What are both of yours fave food after a comp? What about in general?
When I was competing, I used to really struggle with eating after a comp. I used to get really kind of like sickly feeling. So
I figured they meant after watching one, not doing one. But
do you know what? After the comps, it's really hard to get any food sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, because they often finish quite late at night.
Yeah.
So
it's either like a takeaway or something like that, which is never good. I really like a lot of Persian food. I like Lebanese food. I love sort of Turkish type food. That's really nice. I like steak.
Meat.
Yeah,
meat.
I got to be honest.
Salad, meats, bread. Love it.
Like I prefer things like that to a takeaway.
Yeah, definitely.
Like a nice cooked meal.
Will that Dr. Bill be commentating at Rogue? Asked Detective.
I'm not sure on the whole team that's working it, but he will probably be there.
Yeah, he will almost definitely be there. You're working on it, aren't you?
I am indeed, yes.
How nice. Sean, presumably.
Sean and myself will be in the commentary booth. And There's going to be a female commentator as well for the female side of the comp. I can't remember who's doing it though.
Here we go. This is not correct, actually. Kilishkovsky won the world's ultimate strongman. And I do count 2019 as a major. It had all of the big players in it except for Thor. That was Thor's choice. Yes. But Brian was there, Kilishkovsky, Novak,
and he won it. He won it tearing his bicep.
Yes, he has won a major. There we go.
I think the worst thing, like, it was a major, but it's just a shame that it stopped so soon.
Of course, and suddenly as well. Yeah, it is a shame. Michael, the members comment, how about an official rule book for refs as well?
Yeah, we've kind of like brought this subject up many times. I've even brought it up to promoters and stuff.
Yeah. Eddie and Alex have had their baby.
Yes, did you see?
No, I didn't. I saw Kelly's comment. I will check out the baby afterwards.
I saw on Alex's post.
I've missed that. I've been so busy today. It's been a nightmare. Loz would smoke Brian, reckons Erebus.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. I don't know about smoking, but I'd like to pull him just to see sort of where he's at, because it's hard to tell. Like, Devon just gets so excited and like bigs people up, and then he seems to want to tear them down the way he kind of arm wrestled Leonidas last weekend. I made you watch that, didn't I?
Probably. I pressed it. I don't know if I did watch it.
I don't know if you'd do the same to Brian or not in a few years when Brian's getting better.
Oh, you did make me watch that. Yeah. He's a bully on the table.
He was a complete bully. He's like, you've been kind of bigging this guy up, and then it's like you're going to tear him down.
My feelings would properly be hurt. I'd be turned into a right bitch. What's up with Bish? How is he doing?
Bish is training hard. He's been posting videos on his Instagram. I should imagine we'll see Bish at Britain's Strongest Man. That's my guess as to when he's looking to come back. Bish is always good with a long prep.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that is better not doing too many competitions.
He's always very good at Britain's.
Yeah. He was awesome at Worlds as well until he got hurt.
I know.
I would expect him to be good at Brits this year, next year.
Julia with the members comment, do we get a training video with Andrea? Love her. I think we owe the people, don't we? Everyone needs a bit of Andrea in their lives. She's so filthy.
We're probably going to do like a bit of a leg session tomorrow, and then more focus on her weaker events for Rogue.
Grumpy Andrea,
Tuesday.
excellent. Grumpy Andrea is the funniest Andrea. Can you guys do a rules meeting stream for Rogue? The rules seem a bit confusing. We can't. No. That's not allowed.
I can't do that this year for Rogue, just due to my contract with doing commentating for them.
Yeah.
So I am being a bit limited on what I can do.
Yeah.
However, I appreciate Rogue. Working for Rogue, they pay me more than any other promoter, so they do. So yeah, I've got to behave.
Yeah. Oh dear. Moving on quickly. Alejandro, thank you for this.
They're paying the women more.
I know.
It's everything. So you can't complain at that. I mean, I'll get more for commentating than I would have for winning comps that I've won.
Yeah, I think like I can pretty much do what I want over the weekend.
Yeah, no one can stop you.
No. So I couldn't obviously stream the athletes meeting because it's not uncommon for cameras not to be allowed in those.
However, what I will do on commentary is tell you the rules.
Yes.
Which I can do.
Yes.
So yeah, there's if you tune in and watch, I'm guessing it'll be on the Rogue Fitness YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Then I'll make sure that the rules are all explained beforehand.
Alejandro with the super chat, thank you. If Tom only focuses on World's Strongest Man, he'll be like Marius, respected but not as respected as Adrenus, Thor, Mitch, or Brian. He needs to win Arnold Strongman or Strongest Man on Earth.
From talking to Tom, he wants to as well.
Yeah,
it's not like he doesn't care about these other shows, and I think he's kind of trying to structure or think about how he goes about it. Let's remember he's been third at the Arnolds and he's been second at Rogue. He's certainly no schmuck that's just done well in one show. Yeah. It's just, he's a bit of a unique individual that has, as a World's Strongest Man winner, hasn't won many other shows, although he's won Worlds 3 times. Normally when you look at Marius, Adrenus, Brian, Thor, all these guys that have won Worlds, they've won a lot of other shows as well. So he knows if he wants to go down as one of the best of all time, he needs to win other shows, and he's more than capable. And I think shows like Rogue and Strongest Man on Earth are probably better for him than maybe even the Arnolds.
Yeah, I think so.
You look at the events. Look at the events for Rogue this year. You've got to be Tom Stoltman thinking, if I'm in top shape, these are great events for me.
Yeah.
So is someone like Thor. You know, Mitch is always going to be confident, but as a confident Tom Stoltman, you look at these and think, I can win this.
It's great.
The problem with Tom is when that confidence dips, he's not the same athlete.
Yeah.
And he just needs to get that confidence back.
Yeah. And imagine, like, for those of you that have competed, you're just absolutely down in the dumps on yourself. And then you have to go out and put a 1,000-pound yoke on your back. You're not fired up at all. That's going to feel so hard and heavy, isn't it? So it is just a bit of a mental block.
Definitely.
Malcolm, I misspoke. Didn't care how old she was. He wanted to know how much she weighs. I do not know. I would never ask a lady that. But Rebecca's a 6'4" beast, so she ain't going to be light.
At one point, she was very heavy. She's lost weight.
It was Strongwoman that helped her lose quite a lot of weight as well.
Same with Ines.
Yes, yeah. Anyway, let's move on from the women's weight. Dalton, thank you for the super chat. If you move to the US, there's always Waffle House for a post-comp delicacy, even in a hurricane. We have lived that life. Yes. We have been to Waffle House in a hurricane.
I think Dalton knows that.
Okay. Interestingly, during a hurricane, they don't have any waffles.
No, they didn't
have burgers only.
I know. We were well disappointed.
We were.
Someone mentioning that Radzi is awesome. I totally agree. He is.
Yes. Ah, please, not Radzi. Oh, do you know what, though? He made the 2018 unwatchable.
He was screwed over.
He was.
Massively. He had nothing.
Poor bloke. He was given no information about anyone. He just had to draw on his own
for
knowledge.
12 hours.
For 12 hours. He had to do commentary with no one to bounce off of and no information.
12 hours we were competing in that competition. I burnt my ass because I had deep heat in my neoprene shorts. And I was in those conditions for that long. Poor Radzi had to stand up on stage for 12 hours with no information and somehow try and keep talking. I think he did better than most could have.
Oh,
and Radzi, I love working with Radzi. He makes my job very, very easy, asks the right questions. He's also very interested in the sport. He actually knows quite a bit about strongman. So I will not have you saying anything bad about my Radzi.
Yeah, that's very defensive of Radzi, but rightly so as well.
Radzi and Sean are two of the best people to work with.
Yeah.
Because like for someone like myself, who's there as the strongman expert, they can set you up so well. They're so good at the intros and stuff like that. I think Radzi is awesome. I think Sean is awesome as well.
Agree. I remember Loz, Liz, Andrea, and Rauner and Mitch. No, it was Ivers at a water park. It was one of the most fun videos. It's not a members video, that one. Obviously, if you're not a member, you should join because we do have lots of fun members videos. But that one is.
You put a members video from last week, didn't you?
Two.
There we go. Yeah. We've got a trip to the Grand Canyon.
Yes, trip to the Grand Canyon and our travel day into Vegas as well.
There you go. Make sure you become a member of the channel. Obviously, it helps us out loads, but also you get extra content as well.
Yeah, but if you can't do that, just like the video is nice.
Yeah, and if you can go and like the video and subscribe if you haven't, it's also very much appreciated.
Radzi did great by himself. Magnus Berg Magnuson, he was very good there also. Good. Yeah, he can't do it this year, can he?
That's why we're there.
They've
downgraded to us.
Downgraded to us. Or to you. Radzi. Oh, lots of people defending Radzi. Radzi slander should be illegal. Radzi is great, always so professional. Radzi is awesome.
Radzi is awesome.
Radzi was excellent at the MVM.
Newcomb says press the like button. Yes, please do.
Didn't Radzi have to cope with Pa having a dildo poking out? So sorry to say that.
Probably.
But didn't he have something phallic in his
It's Pa, probably.
Or something when Radzi just had to get on with the show. I couldn't. I mean, I'm blushing now. I couldn't possibly. No.
See what I can find to just distract you, but
no, don't. Where are we? It cannot be boring video if Rauno and Ivers are in it.
We're going
to agree.
We're going to see Ivers.
We will see Ivers in Iceland and Mateusz Kieliszkowski also. Oh,
and Rongo.
Nice. And Rongo. I did ask Rauno if he wanted to come, but
it's a long way to come to not compete for him.
Yeah. It's expensive place to travel to as well. So no Rauno. Members videos are well worth it. Thank you, Dalton.
Malcolm wants to touch Radzi's hair before he dies.
Oh, I've done it, and it's worth it. You should ask.
Just ask politely.
Yeah.
He'll let you.
Yeah. I think he touched my back. It's lovely.
Laura wants to know when your next comp is, Liz.
I don't know, Laura. I really don't know. I don't want to be doing all that. You see my reel the other day, my face of anguish. The deadlift at the end. Like, so bad. I'm still training though, aren't I?
Yes.
Don't say it like that, Loz. I've been traveling a lot.
Yes.
I've done my best.
Yes.
With what I've got. And I'm training tomorrow.
Yes.
With Andrea. There you go. In Rogue, it's Thor going for deadlift world record.
No idea.
We must remember at Rogue, there's no suits and no figure of eights allowed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a standard bar, but
it's going to be interesting to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing what the setup's like. My only concern, nothing against Rogue. I think the events are cool. I'm just concerned that some of the athletes are battered at this point.
I know.
Like, even Mitch is feeling it, and I've had to remind him that he's human and needs to back off a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to try and get through these next two comps. Like my goal for Mitch is just maintain where he's at the moment.
Yeah.
And he always wants to try and be better. He wants to put on a show for the fans, but I'm like, we've got to keep you safe as well.
Of course.
So just trying to hold him back a little bit in training right now. I want him to have a break after Rogue, so then we can get refocused for a big 2025.
Sarah confirming that he did have the thing that I said he had in his pocket. I must remember sometimes children watch it, so sorry. And he does also have a funny nose mask on as well. Let's move on very, very quickly. Steady State, thank you so much for the super chat. Are you guys doing less talking strongwoman clips because YouTube punishes your channel for it? If so, maybe have them in the members area instead. It's not so much that we get... So YouTube is a funny thing. If you have a video that doesn't attract as many views and the click-through rate is poor, you do feel that knock-on effect a little bit on the next video.
A lot sometimes.
If you have several in a row like that, then you really get punished for it. So
we've done a lot of videos to try and help
it?
The sport, promoting the women's side of things, promoting like the lighter weight classes. We get punished massively for it. We do.
Yeah, we do. I know. I'm just laughing about how unfair it is.
It's really unfair because we want to sort of, promote the. So what we try and do now is kind of put some things into our news videos. So we try and do like a catchy title, more kind of mainstream stuff, and then add something in there for the other classes as well, just so they are getting something. But it's difficult because you're trying to do it as a job.
I know.
And your income suddenly drops so much that it's difficult. Whereas you look at the channels that do well, they just do, almost clickbaity titles all the time. Yeah. And it's frustrating when you want to build the sport, but it's hard to justify sometimes. But yeah, we could put, say, more things like that into the members only area, I guess. There's a couple of people I'd love to do talking strongman with still that I think could be fairly popular. I'd love to do Yuko Ahawa, definitely. A couple of others as well. But yeah, I mean, we've put some effort into, I'll sit there talking to some of these guys for ages, big effort, and then you get hardly any views. Your subscriber rate goes down as well, and it just punishes then your next few videos as well. So it's funny how the algorithms work with YouTube.
But at the same time, it's not funny at all.
Well, it's frustrating.
Where are we? Gary's in the chat. We met Gary in Vegas. We missed the Orleans pool. It was sad to leave after a fun weekend. I was very sad to leave Vegas. And normally I'm very happy to come home, but I think it's because I knew it's my last bit of warmth until next summer. How sad. YouTube is a weird game to play.
Yeah.
Found on my channel recently, had a couple of low performing videos in a row, so brought out the algorithm beta and it's fixed things up. Yeah. Sad times. Let's check out the Great Wolf Lodge in Wisconsin. Perfect for Princess Alexa and only 45 minutes.
We're not going to be at OSG, cousin Fred. We are.
He knows that, and that's what I think he's trying to convince us. Yeah, because it's going to be her birthday. It's just hard because it's such a long format competition, and her birthday is on the Sunday, the last day of competition. Like not being with her on the day isn't even a question, and bringing her there. I just think
there's
she'd
many
be-
factors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd need to bring someone else with me just to look after her for me.
And then there's the cost of that. And
Exactly.
the time off school.
Yeah,
And,
it's just,
you know, it's difficult.
it's just hard to make it work this year. But hopefully Lynn Morehouse will move the date next year and we can come. There we go. Shall we wrap up then, Lozzie? It's been almost
Sure.
exactly an hour. And some of us still have work to do.
I have work to do too.
Right,
So don't look at me like
I
that.
know, I meant both of us. Very touchy.
Right, guys, it's just the way you said it.
I'm very busy and important.
What's this there?
Oh.
There's just a few more comments coming through. But yes, guys, hope you have a great week. Next 4 competitions next weekend.
There are 4 next weekend. We do have a news video coming out about this tomorrow. But yeah, we've got America's Strongest Man, America's Strongest Woman, Arnold Europe, and Strongman Champions League Cyprus.
There we go.
Busy weekend next weekend.
Indeed it is. You guys take care. Have an awesome week. And thank you once again for all the support. Don't forget, like the video. Give us a subscribe if you haven't already, and click the notifications so you get the notifications or something like that. You know, so you do get to see the videos.
It's been a long
YouTube
week.
doesn't punish us.
Yes, there you go.
And I'll try and be better so I don't punish myself.
Yeah, just smile.